Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited to dive in with you. Want to get a couple things out of the way first. First, please hop in the comments, join Pamela, who is there. Pamela, you are not talking too much. I always love that you're here, love talking to you. And let me know where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn today, maybe how you heard about Spotlight. And I always love hearing too where on your journey you are. If you're just an aspiring creator, just starting out, maybe you have some courses, maybe you're looking for some marketing help. I love hearing all of that, knowing where everybody is at before we get going. And also, just wanted to answer a quick question in the comments. Lenore was asking, will this be recorded? Yes, it will. Oh, excuse me. The replay will be available on YouTube. It'll also be on the Spotlight event page and emailed to you if you RSVP'd to the event. And also, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please pop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer all of them. Excuse me, folks. I had too much water right before this, trying to get vibed and hydrated. And also, if I don't answer your questions right away, I promise I'm not ignoring you. We've set aside time at the end of the event for me to get to all those questions. So if I don't answer it right away, plop it in again during the Q&A, and I'll try to get to all your questions today. Um, Love seeing everyone is here. People are popping in. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. I did want to call out before we get started a couple of our past events over the past few weeks. We've been hosting events just like this to try and get your marketing, your curriculum, all of the sensibilities that it takes to create a successful online business on track. We dove into building an email list, some methods for doing so. We dove into building a free course as a value lead magnet. We also talked about creating a logo completely for free. And also, yesterday, we talked about transforming your sales copy into benefits and transformational based copy. That was an awesome event. Everyone was super active hanging out with us. So, just want to say, if you don't get enough with today's event, please hop over to the Spotlight YouTube channel or to spotlightapp.io. Check out those past events. We've been cranking out as much as we can to help you get everything on track. And it looks like everyone is here, can hear and see me all right. We got folks from Colorado, from Ireland. This is awesome. Love it. All right. So today we are talking again about email lists, but we're going to be focusing in a little more. Just building an email list isn't necessarily enough. You need to have a strategy that can help you grow and nurture your email list at the same time. So we're going to be going over two purely email-based strategies that you can use to grow and delight your customer base at the same time. So, I want to do first and foremost just a brief summary for anyone that didn't catch our first event about email. We're just going to walk through quickly some basics about email marketing. First, if you're new to marketing online, it may surprise you, but email is still the number one marketing tool for just about any online business, or even brick and mortar businesses are turning more to email. You may see influencers out there with huge followings who are marketing all sorts of products and things like that. But if you really pay attention, the ones that are really on their game are still ultimately directing people to their email list. Not only is it one of the most personal ways to end up in someone's inbox, but it is also one of the few platforms that you actually own. You know, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of these platforms could disappear or they're constantly changing their terms and agreements. Email and an email list of consenting email audience is one of the only platforms you can 100% own. So, a couple other benefits of email lists in general. Email has the largest audience. There are over 4 billion daily email users. Facebook, which is, I believe, the largest social media platform, only has about 2.4, I say only, but only has about 2.4 billion users. So, still, email is the largest platform you can use to grow and market your business. It is one of the easiest to grow. 31% of marketers say email newsletters are the best way to nurture leads. We're going to talk about newsletters in a minute here. And they also say it's the preferred method. 4 out of 5 marketers say they would rather give up social media than email. I think that should be a key alone to you that this is a valuable platform to be working on. And it also allows for very powerful customization that you're in control of. Marketers who use segmented campaigns note as much as 760% increase in revenue. That's crazy. Before we move on, I just want to call out real quick. I love what y'all are doing in the comments. Darnell, it's so nice to see you here. Darnell Brown, we've done a couple events with him, and he is an absolute genius when it comes to how he's growing his business and his just attitude, his personality, the whole ethos of his business is awesome. So, wasn't intending to plug him, but since you're here, Darnell, please go check out the past Spotlight event we did with Darnell and also take his advice because I'm using it every day in my own business and it's been so valuable. But just want to call out everybody, keep chatting with each other in the comments, keep those questions coming. I love seeing you all here. So, another just little brief concept for email marketing. If you don't know what a funnel is, it's kind of the core of an email marketing strategy. A funnel sets up kind of a place for us to categorize different people along their path in our email marketing ecosystem. So we want to think about where a customer or a user is within this ecosystem so that we can address them appropriately. I just want to go through this briefly so you all kind of are on the same page with how we think about email marketing. At the top of our funnel, we have awareness. So this is going to be a segment that is as big as possible. This is where we're putting out lead magnets. We're just collecting as many people in the industry, in our industry, or who might be interested in our industry to try and just capture their interest, get them into the funnel. Below that is consideration. So this is where we engage, educate, and start segmenting our email list. And so this is when we can start playing with our email workflows and stuff and finding out who people are, what they might be interested in, if they're more high ticket customers or if they're just here for some of the free items we're giving away. This is where we start to kind of figure out who is who within our email segment. The next step is conversion. So once we figured out who on our email list might actually be interested in buying our products, we start targeting those people. We start letting them know what products are available. We start giving them discounts, maybe start really trying to push those conversions from users to actual customers. And the last stage, which I can't stress enough, many people forget about this, but this is a lot of what we're going to talk about with our two different methods today is the loyalty section. So this is people that have already bought from you, already engaged in your products. They're people who are aware and loyal customers. So we want to make sure that we also have an email strategy that delights these people, that rewards them, because these people not only deserve our appreciation because they're supporting us, both probably as an audience and financially, but at the end of the day, word of mouth is still a powerful marketing tool. And if we treat those people well who have treated us well, those people are going to be brand ambassadors, whether we ask them to or not. So we really, really want to build an email strategy that's going to not only capture new audiences, right? But also delight and reward those who are supporting us. All right. So hopefully hop in the comments. Let me know if we're all on the same page, if this all makes sense, if it's new to you, if this is old hat to you. Love to hear where you're all at. But I am just going to keep going forward here so we can dive in. So we're talking about two primary methods you can use that are completely email based to grow and nurture your email list. These are not the only methods you should use, but they are fantastic to use in tandem with lead magnets and other tools like that. And the beauty is they can all be done within your CRM or your email platforms. So that's things like MailChimp, Flowdesk, ConvertKit, These are super low energy things you can set up. So the first is a newsletter. If you do have some lead magnets or don't have some lead magnets, you might find that you get a lot of people coming in who may want those lead magnets, but then they aren't really hanging around in your email list very long. They're either unsubscribing or just not interacting with the emails you're sending out, no longer clicking on the links you're sending and things like that. Well, that's one situation where you already have lead magnets out there, and you might notice that people are dropping off after they get those free items. Or you're also looking for an easy way just to get people on your email list. Newsletters are a great thing to promise. So, first off, they're low effort. It only requires you to generate at most one email a week. For many people, that can even be more than you need, especially if you have a small audience. You don't want to be spamming them right off the bat. Um, awesome. Darnell, I appreciate you being in there helping with the education. Yes, everybody listen to everything Darnell says. He really knows what he's doing here. And then another beauty of email newsletters is they're easy to deliver. Keeping niche and simple makes newsletters easy to deliver value with. So you don't need a newsletter on all industry or all of that. You can focus really small and say, okay, if you want regular updates or just tips and tricks, here's the exact little field I'm going to be targeting. And feel free to try a couple different newsletters if you have a big kind of industry. You can try and segment a little bit by promising different things to different audiences. One of my favorite things about newsletters is there's little to no design required. Many CRMs or newsletter email platforms have built in design elements, and you don't even really need to get that fancy with design. Email is really a text based platform. So, focusing on just delivering as much text value as you can is really valuable. I want to point out yesterday's event once again. Yesterday, we talked all about turning feature based copy into transformational copy. It's really a whole mindset on focusing how your customer emotionally relates to your products and your industry. So go check that out. Try and internalize that. And whenever you're diving into your email platform, try and harness those tools we gave you yesterday to really make these emails impactful. And the last thing is emails are really easy to track. So just about every email platform will give you analytics. You can track how many people open an email, how many people view different links, how many people click those links, and how they engage with your products. So these are reasons why newsletters are very, very valuable, very easy to set up. And once again, we're focusing completely on just the email based platform. So, if you're wondering what can be in a newsletter, we've come up with at least just 4 ideas for you. I want to say right off the bat though, be creative, think of different ways that you can, reinvent the newsletter a little bit, but also if you don't have a clever idea right off the bat, don't reinvent the wheel. Here's a couple things you can promise people when they sign up for your newsletter. Updates in your industry. Super easy to do. You can allot an hour a week to sit down. If you're engaged with your industry, you probably already see these things. You might be on the newsletters of other companies that are sending you updates in your industry already. So you can kind of take those, work it into your own voice, work it into your own audience, and give that back to them. This really should take at most an hour or two a week, or you can sit down for 3 or 4 hours a month and just drum up your 2 to 4 newsletters for the whole month. Another option is tips and tricks. So you can say, if you join my newsletter, I'm going to give you weekly, daily, monthly tips and tricks to make your content better. For me, I'm an audio engineer, podcast producer, and musician, so I focus in that field. I generally promote that sign up for my email list, and you'll get regular tips and tricks to make your music production and content take it to the next level. So, tips and tricks are a great thing to just a super bite-sized way to access your audience and get them engaged with your content. The other thing I like about tips and tricks is if you are on social media, you can often just be using your emails to call out posts that you do. So there's kind of an ecosystem that starts to exist when you use these new letters in tandem with other platforms. Another thing you can promise on your newsletters is exclusive offers. So if you join my email list, you get discounts on my products or fellow products. You can always say that by being a member of my newsletter, you're going to get first access and exclusive discounts to all of my products or the ecosystem of products around me. And another thing you can use is cross promotion. I do not see enough people use this, but I think it's really powerful when you choose to highlight people that you follow or that you engage with, people who have given you a lot of value. I say pass that value on to your audience. They may not know of these people, and it may provide a lot of value for them. And it does a lot when it's coming from you. So I want to be clear. I don't think you should use necessarily just one of these. These are four tools that you can use to make robust newsletters. And once again, to what we talked about yesterday with copy, also keep in mind to be brief. You want to offer a lot of value, but people don't want to be getting a giant essay in their inbox every day. So try and figure out a way to reduce all of these ideas into regular emails that can provide a lot of value and people can expect what they're going to get from your newsletter. So, hop in the comments. It looks like people are active and talking and working with each other. I love it. Darnell is given some proof, so he's really, really on top of his newsletter and stuff like that. So make sure to pay attention to his comments there. Super valuable. And it seems like everyone's with me here. So I'm going to move on to the second idea, which is email courses. I've started to see more and more of these, but essentially, an email course is a pre made workflow or sequence that is going to offer basically a learning experience through the email platform. So, if you're already developing courses or thinking about making courses and just want to start getting your feet wet, this is a fantastic way to dive in. Couple of the advantages, they are very easy to automate. I'll show you in a little bit some of the sequences I have for my emails, and it just about any CRM or email platform has the ability to create workflows. So when someone is added to your email list, you can say, okay, they're added to this segment. A segment is kind of a portion of your audience that you can tag different users with. And now I want them to go through this series of emails. So once you set it up, it all works for you. You don't have to do anything else. You can just watch it happen. Another thing I love about this is it's bite sized. You have to distill your expertise into easily consumable formats. So I would really say focus on a small problem that your audience might have. So I used this example before, but if you were a mechanic, rather than saying how to fix your car in, 10 days, you could say how to replace a tire in 3 days. So focus on a really small problem your audience might have and write it down as one big kind of problem to solution, and then you can segment that into little bite-sized pieces. People should be able to easily read these emails in a couple minutes and put that action to use. Another thing I love about email courses, just like newsletters, is they're analytic rich. So you can track people's progress, whether they're clicking on videos or additional resources you're giving them. You can track if they opened emails, and also you can allow and ask people to reply to you. So you can already start getting engagement within the email platform for these email courses you're building. Another thing I love is high value leads. So basically, what that means, if we think about our funnel again. At the top of the funnel, we have a whole bunch of people coming in. They may or may not be people really interested in our products. But when someone is signing up for an email course, they are not only investing their email, which is an investment. We should think of someone's email as it has potential monetary value. And we also need to think of their time. So someone is saying, not only do I want this free PDF or something small you're offering, but yes, I'm going to invest my time in engaging with this course. So already you can take someone who signs up for an email course and kind of skip them down from the top of the funnel to at least the place where you know this person is interested in investing their time into your products. That definitely means they're probably interested in investing their money in the future. And also, if you have someone who completes your course and engages with your course, that's someone who you can definitely say, I should market my products to this person. They're engaged, they like my brand, they're learning from it, and it's time to sell to them. And then last but not least, my favorite thing about email courses is it's a fantastic sandbox for you to develop curriculum. So if you already have a course, but you don't have an email version of it, I highly recommend thinking of a way to either take a paid course and turn it into a bite-sized free email course to start generating leads. You can also always promote your free or your paid course within your email course. So, say you had a whole course on fixing your car. Or I'll use my platform for example. I'm building a course on music production. So it's a big course, and music production is quite a hefty topic. But I'm building a free email course on just importing and exporting info out of your DAW. So, how to collaborate with other musicians. If someone sends you files, how do you import them, work with them, and then send them out so that that person is going to hear and see the same thing you are? So, again, if you have a course, an email version of that course or a small part of that course is a fantastic thing to throw out there, both to collect new leads, nurture your existing audience, and promote your paid products. Again, if someone finishes your email course, they're likely ready for your full course. And if you don't have a course yet, but you're developing courses or interested in doing so, an email course is such a great place to test that content and kind of build the curriculum. So, it shouldn't take you more than 5 to 10 hours at most to build an email course. And that's from just starting with an idea all the way through putting it into action. And if it is your first email course, I highly recommend that you ask your audience to engage. So say, reply, let me know if this is helping, let me know if this is working. And you're going to get a lot of free feedback there. There's giant companies out there that are paying for people to engage with their products. So if you can set up a system where people are signing up for your email list because you're promising value, and then they're engaging with your product and giving you critique on your curriculum, that is a heck of a way to build a course. You can also always modify your workflows and change them, deliver extra value. So if you build an email course and you find that a lot of people keep asking for the same things, you can change that course, update it, and then at some point, you're going to find that you have the structure for a full course. So, we're going to do some events next week all about methods to develop your courses in a smart way where you can be growing your audience, making money, and developing your curriculum. So make sure to look out for those. I'll call them out at the end of the event. But an email course is a fantastic way to start building curriculum in a format where you can actually get feedback so you're not working in a vacuum. All right. So once again, you may be saying, what does this actually look like out in the wild? So here's 4 ideas for an email course. Challenges. Challenge your audience to accomplish a goal in a set amount of days with you. So what this could look like on your website, you could say, hey, please, Anthony, just want to call out, thank you, Anthony. I will let you know when that course is ready. But with a challenge, you could say, hey, sign up for my free email course. It's a 5-day challenge to get your music production on key. So You could say in 5 days, we're going to order you the equipment you need. We're going to get you the software you need, and we're going to get you familiar with basic recording techniques. Then each one of those days, you can email that person. And by the end of it, you can have a call to action saying, if you're interested in more, here's my full course, or here's some other resources you can consume, or also share this course with your friends. If there's someone you know who would get value out of this, throw it out there. So challenges are a great way to start engaging your audience. At Teachable, we have done quite a few challenges, Spotlight as well, and we continue getting people popping up and saying, when are you going to do those again? So people really love challenges. It's a bite-sized way to get your audience involved and accomplishing a goal in a short amount of time. Once again, go watch yesterday's event about transformational copy, because that's going to be really valuable in creating a full transformation within that small course. Another thing you can do is life hacks. So you could say, sign up for my newsletter, and you're going to get a free email course that teaches you how to keep your house clean in a month, or something like that. And once again, I want to continue to say, think of bite-size options. You don't want to say to someone, here's a 30-day challenge right off the bat, or here's how you're going to become a billionaire in a month, right? We want to be able to make promises that we can keep, and we want these email courses and challenges to be something we can reasonably manage as well. You can always expand in the future if your audience is asking for more, but think bite size. So life hacks, setting specific goals for your audience are a great way to go. Pretty basic is how to's. So if you're already building courses or have the idea to build courses about how to do something, a little course, an email based course on how to, can be a great option. I hope you're already seeing how these can combine into each other, right? Because you could say, here's how to do this in 5 days, or here's these life hacks that will teach you how to do this, right? These are all just tools you should throw in your email marketing toolbox and have available, so that when you sit down and look at, here's what I have and here's what I need to have, you're not wondering just what to do. And yep, I just want to call out once again, Darnell is here. Got to keep your email courses bite size and full of quick wins. That is 100% true. In general, in marketing, we talked about this yesterday. In the psychology of marketing, it takes about 7 closes. What a close means is someone either agreeing, assimilating, or feeling feeling empathy towards you in a brand association way. It takes about 7 to 10 of those before someone is ready to buy. So if you can create an email course that captures those wins, then you can now move that person into your conversion segment, and you know that's a high value lead. All right. So before we go any further, please hop in the comments. Y'all are being so awesome and active in there. But let me know if you have any questions so far. I'll come back and answer all of those. And then also, I just want to take some time to show you what all of this looks like within Teachable. It's kind of, excuse me again. I'm sorry, I ate too quick today. And show you some of the ways you can utilize Teachable. I also wanted to show you how to integrate your CRM or email platform with Teachable, and some of the workflows that I have set up, just so you can get some eyes on how this works. So is everyone with me? Is everyone riding? I know Pamela has been in quite a few events, and Pamela, you keep saying you're long-winded. Don't put yourself down for that. It is an effort to get good at brevity and making that impactful. So we're all working through that. But let's dive in to Teachable. And I want to show you where some things are. So first, when it comes to just capturing leads with Teachable, there's a few ways that can happen. One, people can sign up for a course. That means they become a lead and they're ready to engage with your products. The other is you can set up a lead form. So we did a whole event, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, called The Power of Building an Email List, where we went into the Teachable platform and we built a basic homepage where you can start capturing leads, whether or not you have lead magnets. So I want to show you real quick what that looks like. I'm going to go to my homepage. here in Teachable, which real quick you can access by going to Site, Pages, and then Homepage. We're just going to look at mine today, but if you want to edit it, you click edit, and the page builder is super easy to use. You can build an entire website with Teachable. I think a lot of people don't know that, but it's not just for your sales pages and your homepage. You can build a website as robust as any Squarespace website or anything like that with Teachable. So I am developing a lot of products. So at the moment, I have a very sparse homepage, but I wanted to create a place on Teachable where people can at least see what I'm about, what my academy is, and then also sign up for my newsletter. So you can see I have a beautiful banner there, a little bio, the courses that are coming. And then here, sign up for tips and tricks to make you a better content creator. So, right here, I just have the ability for someone to sign up for my newsletter. I'm promising them tips and tricks. When I have my email course, I'm going to have that as an option you can enroll in. And then just to show you some other places that that like a sign up form can exist in, if you go to my course, which is not live yet, but I built a sales page for. I also have course coming this spring. Sign up to get notified for exclusive pre-sale pricing. So you can see I'm using some of those taglines I said just to get people interested and signing up for the course or just engaging with my platform. So once someone puts in a lead, where you're going to see all of this in Teachable is in the users tab. So over on the left here, you see users. And I have a few schools here. So right here, students, these are all people who are in my beta program for my course. So automatically they're added to my email list. I'll show you in a sec how that works. And then leads, these are people who have just filled out that email form. So there's a few way where your students and your leads, how they're going to make it to your email platform. You can email your students from within Teachable. So if you wanted to just build little courses and just create a community around your courses and stuff like that, or if you just want to email everyone that's in a course, over here on the left, you can click emails. You can select if you're going to specific users, to a whole course, or everyone you have in Teachable. So you could use Teachable as a very basic email marketing platform. But in most cases, you're going to want to build sequences. You're going to want to build segments. You're going to want to do a little more than Teachable offers on its platform alone. However, Teachable makes it extremely easy to put all of these emails to use in your platform. So right away, let's look at some of the integrations that are available. If you're already using an email service like ConvertKit or MailChimp, Teachable already integrates with that. So you can go to settings and then integrations. And you can see right here, MailChimp and ConvertKit and Sumo are all integrated in. So that means all you have to do is sign up with your or sign into those accounts and then tell them what exactly to do. But Teachable can automatically take any new lead or any new student and drop them in to your CRM or email service under a certain segment so that they're ready to go and you don't have to do anything. The other way to do it, if you have to do it manually, is you can just go to your users, and whether it's your students or your leads, up at the top, you can just click Export CSV. This is a file that any email service or CRM knows how to use. And then you can import that easily. So I was doing that once a month just to get things, get all my leads and my students into my CRM, which I use Flowdesk. I just happened to get in when they had good pricing. All of them are good. If you're wondering which one to go with, MailChimp is a fantastic one and probably the cheapest to start with. But I like Flowdesk a lot because it's one price for however many users you have. Ultimately, you can even move email services. So I want to just tell you, don't get hung up building don't get hung up trying to build a homepage, have a lead capture by wondering what service you should sign up for. Sign up for one that works for you, whether it's because it's free or you like the tools available, and just start building it. You can always move and change later as your business grows. However, I did want to point out, if you're on a platform that isn't Sumo, MailChimp, or ConvertKit, you can use Zapier to do the same integrations. So I actually did that this morning to get my subscribers from Teachable over into my email list. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. In Zapier, I created these two workflows, and they integrate with Teachable and Flowdesk. So this one takes any new lead that I get and moves it over as a new subscriber, or updates that subscriber in Flowdesk automatically for me. And this one and that goes under a specific segment for Teachable leads. So those are people I know have just put into the form and not engaged in a course. And then I have another one that takes any new student, so anyone who enrolls in any of my courses, and drops them into Flowdesk as a segment called Teachable Students. So I know I am throwing a lot in here. And so please let me know if you're with me, if this all makes sense. I know we're getting pretty technical here. I did want to point out in the description, we do have some additional resources in there. Is the quick start webinar from Teachable. That's a 40-minute video that goes into a lot of technical depth for how to do a lot of this. So I'm trying to just pound through this so you know what's possible. But if you need a little more help, go check that out. You can also email support@teachable.com if you sign up for a free account, which you can do with the link in the description. And also, if you can't find those resources anywhere else, come back to this video, drop your question in the comments. We'll come back. We'll do our best to answer it. And we'll also try and develop events around those things. So if you have any further, like, in-depth stuff you need help with, drop it in the comments. And we love hearing what you're struggling with, so we can come back here and try and help you out. So I've showed you Teachable. I've showed you Zapier. I want to show you now a little more what my actual email service Flowdesk looks like, just so you get a feel for what all of this looks like. So right here, if you've never seen a workflow or an email sequence, it's an automated sequence that you can set up so that anytime someone is added to a segment or comes in through a certain form, that you can say, now I want them to get this series of emails before they're even just dumped into my general email list. So this is just a welcome sequence, but it works as an example for kind of a course as well. What you can see here is, and this is Flowdesk specific, but it does work similarly in just about all of these like CRMs and email services. So here I have a trigger. A subscriber is added to Teachable leads. So when Zapier takes a lead from Teachable and drops it into Flowdesk, it's going to say, here, I want you to initiate this welcome sequence. So they're going to get, each one of these is an email. We can look really quick what it looks like, right? I'm saying, hey there, I'm so excited to welcome you to the community. And then it says, I'm glad you're interested. Check out my free Logic Pro mini course. I'm building a whole free lead magnet mini course. So I want to get this person on my email list, but I also want to get them enrolled as a student. Oh, and then let me get back to this. So each one of these is an email. You can say, okay, send them that email, then wait 2 days, and then say hello again. This one says just a little more about me. So, if someone is brand new to the segment, I'm just saying, here's who I am. It's so lovely to meet you and learn a little bit more about me. This takes them to the About section on my website. So in case they signed up somewhere where they didn't really get a full overview of who I am and what I have to offer, that is there. Then I'm saying, okay, wait 5 days. And then I'm giving them something. So I have a bunch of free PDFs that I've created as lead magnets, but I also want to make sure that anyone who signs up for my email list and invests their time and energy into being part of my community, that they just get those things for free. So right here, I'm giving them the option to download my 3 favorite ones that I give out. And then I also say hit reply. I want to know if any of this is useful, if you like being part of my email list, what all of that is like for the customer. Again, want to start encouraging feedback so that I can learn how the customer interacts, what they want, what they're interested in. Okay, and the one other thing I wanted to show you with Flowdesk is just kind of what it looks like to segment. So if you have an audience, you're able to build all of these segments. Segments are basically tagging someone, where they come from, what they might be interested in. So segments are a really powerful way to start understanding and controlling your email list. So I have individual segments for each one of my lead magnets. I want to know if someone came in from this PDF or if they came in from this PDF, so that in the future, when I build other products, I can say, oh, these people were interested in that. That definitely means I should be throwing it their way. So segments are a super powerful way to start using your email list and taking full advantage of knowing who your customers are. Again, that's kind of the second place in the funnel, although it's a little bit part of the top of the funnel. And once again, I want to point out with Zapier, you can say, I want to create a new segment for someone, or you can add a new subscriber to that segment. So between Teachable, building the lead forms and a basic website, between Zapier, which can take any of those leads or students and put them into your email CPR or CRM, sorry, you can start building an email based marketing platform that is completely housed within Teachable and your email marketing platform. So, how is everybody doing? I know y'all are talking a lot and you're diving in, helping each other out. First off, I love so much. I love these events. In the last few weeks, I've just been stunned with how much people are dropping in the comments and not only engaging, but also interacting with each other. This is awesome. What a killer community. So please drop any questions that you have. I tried to catch the ones as they were coming in, so I'm going to go through them here, but also please just drop them in again if I miss them. Oh my God, this comment section is so cool. I want to call out just some of what's happening here. Pamela was saying she's a little shy to get in front of people, and Darnell, bless you. This is the best response I've ever heard. Your vulnerability is a feature, not a bug. Woo! When that comes to imposter syndrome or anything like that, keep that in mind. Who you are, your vulnerability, your personality, all of this is not a crutch or a bug. It's a feature. Show it off. Be yourself to your audience. They're going to relate to that. All right. So let's start getting to these questions. So Anthony was asking, any tips for growing an email list from scratch? I haven't caught up with yesterday's session yet, so apologies if it's covered there. Yeah, so Anthony, there's a bunch of ways. First and foremost, I recommend watching the event, and you might have been there. I forget if you were, but the very first event we did a few weeks ago that was like this, where we were just building an email list. We created a homepage and a place to capture emails. So if you don't have a form and a way to capture those leads, you should start there because you're going to need somewhere to direct people. So you can sign up for a free Teachable account if you don't have it and just build a homepage that gives a basic description of who you are and all of that. And then you can start capturing leads. Once you have the system set up to capture leads, you're going to need to take a couple different approaches. So the two we talked about today are a great way to kind of rope people in once they're on that homepage. So, having that homepage that says, here's my newsletter or here's an email course. Once you have that, though, you are going to need traffic. So there's a few ways to do this. Obviously, you can write blog articles to try and get more SEO traffic. You can make videos on YouTube to try and generate traffic and put the links for your free courses and stuff in the descriptions. You're going to have to get creative around, but if nothing else, And we're going to be talking about this a little next week with Terry Rice, who's fantastic with this kind of like audience research and engagement. Get get on Facebook. Go to Facebook groups where people are talking about your subjects, and involved in the things you're in. Look up hashtags where people are engaging in your industry and start replying to people with value, answering their questions, solving their problems for them. And then also just tagline, if you need a little bit more, here's a link to my email course where I walk through it. Or you might be someone who really enjoys my, newsletter. So Anthony, it's boots on the ground, when you're starting out, and it's got to be one email at a time. But I don't want that to intimidate you, because once you start generating a little buzz, and if you do delight and thrill your customers, they're going to start recommending other people, and the growth becomes exponential. So, Anthony, I also want to challenge you to go out there and find new and creative ways to do these things that maybe we haven't even thought about. And also come back, drop them in the comments if you find a clever way that starts working, because there's always people creating new ways to do this, and we love hearing it. All right. So next, I wanted just to call out something that Darnell said. You can also repurpose your free mini course or master course lead magnet into an email course if the lead magnet isn't converting as well as you hoped. 100%. Darnell and so many creators out there are really clever about repurposing their content. So you shouldn't think of one piece of content as just living in one place. If you have that course, you should have an email version. If you have a PDF lead magnet, have a newsletter version. Play around with these things, especially when you're starting out, like Anthony, where you really just don't have an email list. Create a few different versions, put them out into different ecosystems. Make sure to tag those segments so you have the analytics to support it. But after a few months of doing this and seeing the feedback, you might start seeing, oh, people really like the mini course. Okay, let's focus in and optimize that. Or people like the email course. Let's focus in and optimize that. So you should always be growing and changing and experimenting wherever you can. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so Sarah was saying, how does getting leads via Teachable work with the opt-ins required? Excellent question, Sarah. So when you build your lead form into your Teachable page, so I'm going to bring it up here, you have the option to include the checkbox that says you consent to receiving emails from this school or course. So you have the option not to include that, but like you're implying, it's really valuable to have people click that, because then it means you can market to them in the future. If you aren't aware of this, you do legally have to obtain someone's consent to continue to market to them in the future. So you really want to make sure that that is available for them. And if you're finding that people aren't clicking that, that's an opportunity to go back to your copywriting, to your transformation, maybe promise a little more, maybe do a little more. You can say, yes, put in your email to get this free PDF, but make sure to click that box if you want extra value. So you can also, I see a lot of creators specifically call out, click this box because this is where the real value is happening. Fantastic question, Sarah. I'm glad you asked. That's all available within Teachable, and it will tell you afterwards. In Zapier, you can determine which of those leads end up going. You can make sure that it's only the consenting leads that go over into your email list. All right. Anthony is asking, how do you get people to access your homepage? So, Anthony, this is a little similar to your last question, just in the sense of, and we're gonna do whole events just about this. But once you've built these lead magnets, you obviously need traffic. People aren't just going to show up. This whole idea of build it and they will come doesn't really work. It may have worked for a brief period of time in the 90s when the internet just existed, or when no one had started building cars in these pivotal times in history. But the reality is you need to stand out among other people. So like I said, Anthony, at first, it's going to be very boots on the ground. look into where your audience is online and go get involved in that space. Don't even start marketing right away. Just be present, start to build your value and reputation as an authority there. Once you do, people will start asking you more questions and engaging with you. And that's how you can direct people to your homepage. I also do recommend that you use some SEO tools to make sure that your homepage is SEO rich. From there, there's many different strategies. And I want to take the opportunity now to point out that in the description, we at Spotlight built a PDF called How to Sell Your Online Course. It is specifically geared to the questions you're asking, Anthony. Once you built something, how do you sell it? How do you actually build an audience? Go check out that PDF. It's a huge resource with a bunch of links to past events we've done, specific snippets where creators are talking about their strategies and methods for building an audience and actually getting traffic to your homepage. So, Anthony, that PDF is for you. For anyone else wondering, that's a fantastic resource to actually be diving into how you take full advantage of this. All right, let's keep going. And Susan Inspired Art Studio is asking, how are these email services different than Gmail? Wonderful question. So, um, there's a few aspects. First, Gmail and most email servers only allow you to email a limited amount of people at once. There are restrictions built into all of these private email servers to make sure that you're getting as little spam as possible. That's another reason why opt ins are there. It's to confirm with your user that they want to get the email so they're not showing up in the spam. The other thing Gmail doesn't really allow you to do is build these workflows and actually have systems that are automated for you. Also, doesn't really allow you to easily segment or all of this. Susan, I suppose you could run your email list out of Gmail if you're just starting and then migrate it over to an email server. But I highly recommend getting familiar with a CRM or one of these email servers earlier, if possible, so you can start being familiar. So by the time you've built enough of an email list to be there, you're not starting from scratch. Great question, though. And there's a lot of factors. Basically, the tools that you need to build an email marketing system and ecosystem are just not available in Gmail because it's built for private email use. All right. Um, Awesome. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get to all of these. Um, and or Haran, you're asking, hi, are my students automatically notified when I upload new lectures? Anthony, they are not necessarily, but you can add those functions within there. It's a whole section within your Teachable account called your drip. Let me get to it so I can show you. Um, so if you go to your course, and then you click, there's two ways you can do this. One is through a drip. So this will say that once a student accesses a course, there's a set schedule. This is a great way to implement those kind of like regular updates and having your emails be part of your course schedule, because this will say, okay, once someone comes in, there's a set schedule to how content is delivered to them, and they'll be emailed every time that happens. You can also, in your email settings, determine if students get updates for those. And if nothing else, you can quickly go and into the emails, compose an email to all of those course users whenever you update a segment, if you're finding that certain people aren't getting that right away. So there are all of those functions available within the platform to make sure that students get uploads or get updates when you upload a new lecture. All right. And oh, dug it yourself. I just wanted to point this out because I want to know too. Anyone here been using a free mini course on Teachable as a lead magnet? Doug, that's a great question for anyone who this might be a new concept for. Like I said, we did a whole event just about building a free course as a lead magnet. Doug, I'm building one right now. I've built one for many of my clients and had a lot of success. I've also taken probably 9 or 10 at this point, and I really love the platform because not only does it get someone on your email list, but it also gets them familiar with Teachable as well. So we talked about a lot of the benefits, but having a free email course as a lead magnet is a really robust way to capture high value leads, get people on your email list and familiar with the teaching platform, and then upsell to your other courses because they'll already have a Teachable account. They'll already have your school. It's a great way to get people on your email list. Sarah is asking, I don't know if I missed this question, but how does bringing a lead from Teachable into something like so Sarah, we answered that question. You have to make sure that they click that box, but you can do that there. Um, and let's see. Um, Megan is asking, I started with MailChimp in a free account. To do an email funnel into an auto sequence, it requires a paid account. Does ConvertKit do funnels in their free version? Megan, I'm not sure about all the details. I wish I was a specialist for all of these different CRMs. I would be a far richer man if I was. But go check out ConvertKit. And I have had really, really good experiences with ConvertKit when I was deciding between Flowdesk and ConvertKit. um, Go email their help desk. They're really quick in getting back. If they don't, I also recommend checking out Flowdesk. They're a little more expensive, but it's a one-time price that doesn't change your whole way through. That's why I went with it, and I really, really enjoy it. So sorry I can't answer your question right away as far as the free version. But what I would recommend is just getting started with the tools you have. And then likeliness is as you need those other tools, they'll be worth paying for. Um, how to get okay, so Susan Inspired Art was just, I think, responding to Doug saying, yes, I have a lead class, but I don't know how to get it out there to clients. So, Susan, I would say the same thing that I said to Anthony. Go engage in those spaces where your students are, do the research. You can write blog articles, you can go on podcasts, just start putting yourself out there as an authority. And then every opportunity you have to engage with someone else's audience, promote your courses, promote your lead magnets. People are very, very open to helping each other out, even if you have a small audience. I think we talked about this with Darnell in one of our events, but I've talked about it with a lot of creators. We get a lot of questions of people saying, like, why would someone with a big podcast want to feature me? Or why would someone want to do an Instagram post with me when I'm just starting out? The reality is you don't know until you ask. And especially if you're offering to showcase someone else, most people are interested in working with you if your platforms align, if you're in the same industry. Just make sure when you reach out to them to be specific about what it is you want from them. Make sure that you're not asking for too much time, and make sure that you let them know you know about them. Don't just go to someone's Instagram account, see they have a bunch of followers, and say, hey, we should work together. Do your research, see what it is they do, make sure that your brands align, make sure that you really like them. And when you find those people that you really do want to build relationships with, keep at it. You don't have to bug them every day, but there is so much there on the internet. I get requests from the same people asking to collaborate every few weeks or so, and it doesn't bother me because most of the time I just forgot. So don't take silence as a no. Reach out again, offer a different value, see if there's any way they want to work with you. Getting on other people's platform is a really, really valuable way to grow your audience. All right, folks. We have to wrap up for time here, but I hope I got to all of your questions. If I didn't, please pop them in the comments again. I'll come back and try and answer all of those questions. I hope this was valuable. Please hop in the comments. Let me know if you learned something today. If you did, if you had a good time, please like and subscribe to the Spotlight channel. We're going to keep doing events like this. Next week, we have 3 awesome events planned. Go check out spotlightapp.io or look at our YouTube channel. And tomorrow we are going to be talking to Kay Putnam. Kay Putnam is a psychology driven brand strategist who really has focused her attention on email marketing. That's why we're talking to her tomorrow. It fits in really well with this whole week, talking about email as your primary marketing platform. So although Kay is on social media, I've talked with her a lot about that complex relationship. A lot of people end their kind of marketing lesson with, like, now go become an influencer or go build an audience. But Kay has developed some really, really clever ways to grow her audience that justify paid marketing and also utilizing quizzes and other little clever psychology driven tactics to get people engaging with her platform. So, Anthony, Susan, Sarah, all of you who were asking how, like, I built something now, how do I get people there? Please attend tomorrow. We're going to be able to ask her some questions and we're going to be sitting down to have a casual conversation, but dive into what her challenges were, how she built the system she has, and how they're working for her. Little tip, they're working really well for her. So I highly recommend showing up and listening to that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Once again, I'm just going to call out some of the additional resources in the description. If you don't have a Teachable account, it's free, completely free to create one and start playing around with everything we talked about today. So the link is the first one down in the description. You can start your account in seconds. If you need any help, you can always email support@teachable.com. They're really quick about replying. And there's also the free webinar that is a 40-minute webinar going into detail about a lot of the technical aspects of the stuff we covered today and in past events. So hop on Teachable, start playing around, start building your internet home base there. It's really powerful to have a internet home base where you can not only start collecting leads, but also start building your coaching and courses all in one place. It's a really great platform. That's why I'm there. And also, there is that PDF, How to Sell an Online Course. It is super valuable and goes into a lot of depth with a lot of these concepts, especially for those people asking, again, I built this. Now, how do I get people there? That PDF is going to help you out a lot and references a lot of past spotlight events where a lot of these successful creators are going into detail about how their systems work in super actionable ways you can use for yourself. All right. So I hope that was awesome for everybody. It looks like it was helpful. I'm so glad. Thank you all so much for being here, both at this event and all the events that have been going. I love seeing the ones of you who have been at multiple ones. Darnell, thank you for being here. Sarah, I've seen you at a bunch of spotlight events. You're awesome. Pamela, you have been showing up to every one of these events, and I love it. Anthony, it's a delight to have you here. I know there's others I missed, but I just want to call out. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see you at future events. And please join me tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be diving in with Kay Putnam. It's been an absolute delight, as always. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.